Prepper Basics, taking a look at the bug out vehicle. This is Throttle Up Prepper. Prepper Basics, taking a look at the bug out vehicle. How you doing? This is Throttle Up Prepper. I am Jeff. Welcome to the program. Make sure you stick around to the end and get some information that you might want to have, just in case. Going to dive right into it. Short and sweet today, hopefully. Looking at the bug out vehicle. Some preppers on YouTube and some preppers not on YouTube have some pretty fantastic Mad Max versions of the bug out vehicle. Now, I have to say, whatever version you're into, I'm jealous. Let's just say it. It's what it is. I'm blind. I can't drive. So I don't get to have any fun at all with these things. I know some of you guys are into the big monster tires on Jeeps and, you know, Suburbans from the 80s and all kinds of just really just wild looking stuff. Converted Volkswagen buses from the 70s up on these big off-road tires. It was pretty wild, and they've come up with some really great stuff. But I just wanted to take a realistic look at what 95% of us will ever face. Here in this country, in the United States, the vast majority of situations that would require us to bug out, thereby needing a bug out vehicle, are as follows. Number one, not necessarily in this order, but just in my order, wildfires. Here in North Carolina, we just last year had all kinds of, you know, fires in the area. Thankfully, didn't come close enough for us to evacuate, but I was ready. Flooding, again, in a blessed spot, very high elevation in a valley. I can't imagine flooding being an issue, but that's, again, what most of this country face. Wildfires, floodings, hurricanes, tornado, earthquakes, natural disasters of these types. Matter of fact, it's on the news now in Florida, in I believe it's Polk or Pasco County. There's a big sinkhole that opened up a couple hundred yards or a couple hundred feet wide, swallowed up 2 homes. Most of the people in this neighborhood had to evacuate. They were forced out of their homes for fear it was going to keep on going. Seems to have stabilized, but there's all kinds of reasons you may have to, at the drop of a hat, bug out. So what should you look for in a bug out vehicle? Behind me is the family vehicle. My wife chose well. I got us a Subaru all-wheel drive vehicle. It's an Outback, just in case you're wondering. It meets the basic criteria. It gets fantastic mileage, operates on regular gas. Diesel sometimes can be hard to find. Lots of advantages to diesel engines. Not knocking it if that's what you chose and what's best for you. More power to you. But for us, the vast availability of regular gasoline was important, number one. Number two, very good gas mileage. I believe it's somewhere 25 to 28 miles per gallon in the city, 33, 32, something like that on the highway. So we can go far and long without having to stop for gas or sit in traffic on a miserably hot day like today and run the AC if that's what you need to do. Decent storage, it's comfortable, you got lots of room for lots of provisions. You can see the roof racks. We've got one of those big old cargo carriers that we use when we head out of town. Anyway, can hold several suitcases for the whole family, all kinds of provisions and food, a couple backpacks, food for the dog, you name it, it's all in there. You also probably can see over my left shoulder an antenna for my ham radio. It handles 2 meter as well as 440, so I got the rolling communications. Should cell towers be out in a situation, you know, like Katrina, my understanding and recollection is that cell communication was strained. 9/11, cell communication was strained, difficult. But you know what? That's always going to go, unless we're in a full military lockdown and they decide to jam signals. That's always going to work. So, you know, ground clearance is great. It's all-wheel drive. I think it's somewhere between 8 and 9 inches of ground clearance, so it's not like, wow, that's never happened before. The iPad overheated and did an emergency shutdown. See, I told you it was bloody hot out here. So pardon the weird, awkward edit. We got Josh in the shade, so this should work. So as I was saying, you know, it's not a monster truck. It's only 8 or 9 inches of clearance, but far more than your average car. So it's a pretty versatile vehicle. Now I'm feeling like one of these cheesy guys on Sunday mornings trying to sell you a car, but that's our car. Anyway, listen, the idea is don't break the bank unless you want to. Don't go nuts, you know, converting vehicles unless you feel a need to, because the vast majority of situations, the normal car of this type is going to do us just fine. Yeah, there are those slim chances that something else could go horribly wrong, in which case this wouldn't do so good. Potentially an EMP could fry those computers in there and leave us stranded. I'm working on a backup plan. That's all I'm going to say. But for right now, like I said, in 95% of the situations, this is just fine. What you have may or may not be just fine. That's for you to decide. Figure out where you live, what's the most likely problem's going to be, what are your evacuation routes like, the time of year. It's so hot, it's frying iPads out here today. Listen, we don't know what's coming our way, but it is definitely time for all of us to get prepared, no matter what. Until next time, God bless.